4 behaviors of people who don't care about you. Stoicism. Have you ever poured your time, love, and energy into someone, only to feel ignored or uncared for? In today's video, we'll explore 4 behaviors of people who don't care about you, and uncover practical lessons from Stoicism to help you protect your peace and build healthier relationships. These insights aren't just about identifying unhealthy behaviors. They're about empowering you to take control of your emotions and live with greater resilience and purpose. Which of these behaviors have you encountered, and how did you handle it? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and let's dive into how Stoicism can transform the way you approach relationships and personal growth. Welcome to Stoic in Your Life. Let's get started. Number 1. Emotional manipulation for control. When people don't care about you, their actions often reveal truths that words cannot disguise. One common behavior is emotional manipulation, where individuals seek to control you by targeting your feelings, guilt, or vulnerabilities. They might say things like, "If you truly cared, you'd do this for me," or, "You always let me down, but I'll forgive you this time." These statements are subtle traps, designed to make you feel responsible for their happiness while diminishing your own needs. Such tactics shift the balance of power, creating a dynamic where you're always striving to appease them. This is where Stoic wisdom offers a lifeline. Epictetus reminds us, "We are disturbed not by what happens to us, but by our thoughts about what happens." It's not their manipulation that causes harm, but how we interpret and respond to it. This principle encourages us to master our emotions, to see the game for what it is, and refuse to participate. Think of Oprah Winfrey, who turned the emotional manipulation and abuse she endured into a powerful foundation for her strength and success. Similarly, Nelson Mandela, during his decades of imprisonment, chose forgiveness over resentment, dismantling manipulation by staying true to his values. Their stories echo a vital Stoic secret: your response is your power. Recognize manipulation, set boundaries, and guard your inner peace fiercely. It's not easy, but every step toward clarity is a step away from their control. Stoicism teaches us to recognize that manipulative people often project their insecurities onto others, attempting to control what they cannot resolve within themselves. When you face such behavior, remember that their actions are a reflection of their struggles, not your worth. Have you ever noticed how some people seem to thrive on creating guilt or conflict, leaving you emotionally drained? In those moments, consider how you can prioritize your emotional health by refusing to internalize their tactics. Ground yourself in self-awareness and ask, is this situation truly mine to own, or am I being pulled into someone else's turmoil? By framing the situation through a Stoic lens, you regain control over your emotions and reclaim your sense of balance. A modern story that illustrates this principle involves a young entrepreneur, Lisa, who partnered with a colleague who constantly manipulated her into taking on more work. Every time Lisa expressed her concerns, her colleague would respond with guilt-inducing statements like, "I thought you were someone I could count on," or, "If you don't do this, we'll both fail, and it'll be on you." For months, Lisa felt trapped, overworked, and undervalued. One day, she stumbled across the Stoic teaching of prohairesis, the idea that while external circumstances may be beyond our control, our internal choices remain ours. Inspired, she confronted her colleague and set clear boundaries, saying, "I understand you feel stressed, but I can no longer take on work that isn't mine. This partnership has to be fair for both of us." Though the confrontation was difficult, Lisa felt a sense of liberation and self-respect she hadn't experienced in years. By addressing manipulation head-on and staying grounded in her values, she reclaimed her peace and began to thrive personally and professionally. What about you? Have you ever felt the weight of someone else's emotional manipulation? What steps could you take to ensure that your peace remains untouchable, no matter how others try to sway you? The lesson here is profound. While you can't control how others behave, you can always control how you respond. When faced with manipulation, pause, reflect, and choose your response with intention. The practice of self-awareness and boundary setting isn't just a defense mechanism, it's a declaration of your self-worth. By prioritizing your emotional stability and refusing to internalize others' manipulative tactics, you honor the core Stoic secret that peace is an inside job. In every interaction, you have a choice. Will you allow others to dictate your emotions, or will you take the reins of your inner world? Emotional manipulation is powerful, but it crumbles in the face of clarity, resilience, and self-respect. When you recognize manipulation for what it is and meet it with strength, you strip it of its power and reclaim your own. This isn't just a practice, it's a lifelong commitment to living in harmony with yourself. Remember, as the Stoics taught, your peace is yours to protect, and no one can take it unless you allow them. Stay mindful, stay strong, and never forget that you hold the keys to your freedom. Number 2. Downplaying your struggles. A hallmark behavior of those who don't truly care about you is their tendency to downplay your struggles or invalidate your emotions. Such individuals often dismiss your experiences with thoughtless remarks like, "It's not a big deal," or "You're overthinking it." These words, cloaked in indifference, reveal more about their lack of empathy than the actual validity of your feelings. Stoic philosophy offers us a powerful perspective here, teaching that the weight of challenges is deeply subjective, shaped by individual experience and effort. Epictetus wisely stated, "It's not the things themselves that disturb us, but our opinions about them," reminding us that struggles are uniquely personal. To dismiss someone's hardships is not only to invalidate their reality, but also to ignore the courage and resilience it takes to overcome them. In the modern world, we witness this harmful behavior in many forms, from casual interactions to broader societal dismissiveness. Consider the story of Lady Gaga, who faced harsh criticism when she courageously spoke about her struggles with mental health. Detractors dismissed her honesty as attention-seeking, failing to acknowledge the vulnerability required to address such personal challenges on a public stage. Rather than retreating, she turned the negativity into advocacy, raising awareness for mental health issues and reminding the world that no one's struggles should be trivialized. Likewise, J.K. Rowling faced dismissiveness and skepticism when she wrote the Harry Potter series amidst financial hardship. Rejected by multiple publishers and doubted by her peers, she persevered, transforming her struggles into a global phenomenon. These stories illustrate that resilience and self-belief can transcend the judgments of others, proving that validation must first come from within. Modern Stoicism aligns with these lessons, teaching us to separate our worth from external opinions. When someone dismisses your struggles, it's crucial to remember that their indifference does not diminish your reality. Your hardships, no matter how small they seem to others, are part of your journey toward growth and resilience. As Marcus Aurelius advised, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. By internalizing this wisdom, you can focus on the inner fortitude you build as you confront challenges. This mindset not only shields your well-being from the harm of dismissive attitudes but also fosters empathy for others, creating a supportive environment for shared growth. The tendency to downplay struggles is particularly prevalent in today's fast-paced, achievement-driven culture, where vulnerability is often seen as weakness. People may dismiss emotional hardships as trivial or undervalue personal battles that don't fit into societal norms of success. But Stoic philosophy reminds us that true strength lies in recognizing and honoring our struggles. When you encounter dismissiveness, let it be a cue to reaffirm your own value and the significance of your journey. Instead of internalizing others' judgments, reflect on what truly matters: your ability to persist, adapt, and grow in the face of adversity. Challenges are not a measure of failure, but a path to personal transformation. By adopting the principles of modern Stoicism, you can cultivate an inner resilience that is independent of external approval. This practice enables you to validate your own efforts while extending the same understanding to others. The philosopher Seneca wrote, Sometimes even to live is an act of courage, a poignant reminder that simply facing life's challenges requires immense strength. By respecting your own struggles and embracing the struggles of those around you, you not only rise above negativity, but also contribute to a culture of compassion and mutual support. In this way, modern Stoicism becomes a powerful tool for navigating the dismissiveness of others. It empowers you to detach from harmful opinions and focus on your growth, ensuring that your struggles are seen as opportunities for learning and resilience rather than sources of shame. When you honor your own journey and that of others, you create a ripple effect of positivity, encouraging a more empathetic world. By doing so, you not only break free from the harm of invalidation, but also become a beacon of strength, inspiring others to embrace their struggles with courage and dignity. Number 3. Putting themselves first. Self-centered individuals often prioritize their own needs and desires above everything else, disregarding the well-being and feelings of those around them. This behavior manifests in various ways, such as neglecting shared responsibilities, exploiting relationships for personal gain, or using others merely as tools to achieve their goals. In workplaces, for instance, a self-serving leader may climb the corporate ladder by ignoring the morale and growth of their team. While this approach might yield short-term success, it inevitably weakens trust, erodes emotional bonds, and hinders collaboration. From the perspective of modern Stoicism, such behavior reflects a misunderstanding of life's true purpose. Marcus Aurelius aptly said, "What we do now echoes in eternity." This wisdom reminds us that selfish actions may bring temporary satisfaction, but often leave behind a legacy of regret, isolation, and unfulfilled potential. Consider the case of Elizabeth Holmes, the founder of Theranos. Her relentless pursuit of personal success led her to deceive investors and patients, resulting in catastrophic harm and irreparable damage to her reputation. While this example may seem extreme, the essence of such behavior can be observed in everyday life. In personal relationships, for instance, one partner might continually demand emotional support or resources without reciprocating, creating an imbalance that leaves the other feeling drained and unappreciated. Whether on a grand scale or in small, personal interactions, selfishness undermines trust, respect, and the very foundation of meaningful human connections. Stoicism offers a powerful remedy to this harmful mindset by emphasizing the interconnectedness of humanity and the importance of living in harmony with others. As Epictetus said, "What is good for the hive is good for the bee." This principle reminds us that our individual well-being is deeply tied to the collective good. By focusing on empathy, kindness, and actions that benefit others, we not only nurture our relationships but also find deeper personal fulfillment. Stoicism also encourages us to set boundaries. While it advocates compassion and understanding, it doesn't support enabling selfish behavior. Instead, it teaches us to protect our energy and peace without succumbing to resentment. In today's competitive and fast-paced world, where self-interest is often mistaken for ambition, adopting Stoic principles can be challenging but profoundly rewarding. Practicing modern Stoicism starts with recognizing selfish behaviors in others and choosing not to mirror them. Understand that while selfish individuals may never change, you have the power to limit their influence over your life. By acting with virtue and prioritizing the well-being of others, you can foster relationships built on mutual respect and trust. This might mean distancing yourself from toxic individuals or asserting your needs in unbalanced relationships. A life guided by Stoic values measures success not by personal gains, but by the positive impact we leave on others. Empathy and mutual respect are not just philosophical ideals. They are essential tools for building meaningful connections and achieving inner peace. When we consider how our actions affect others, we align with a higher purpose that goes beyond fleeting personal achievements. This perspective transforms not only our relationships but also how we view ourselves, creating a legacy rooted in virtue and integrity. Modern Stoicism challenges us to rise above selfishness and embrace a life of purpose, compassion, and virtue. It reminds us that true fulfillment lies in the connections we build, the kindness we show, and the values we uphold. As Marcus Aurelius wisely observed, live a good life. If there are gods, and they are just, they will not care how devout you have been, but will welcome you based on the virtues you have lived by. Let these timeless principles inspire you to live with integrity, foster meaningful relationships, and pursue a life of enduring contentment. Number 4. Lack of empathy. A lack of empathy is one of the clearest signs that someone doesn't genuinely care about you. Empathy is the ability to understand and connect with another's feelings, and without it, relationships become cold, disconnected, and transactional. It may manifest in subtle ways like ignoring your pain or dismissing your emotions as unimportant. When someone lacks empathy, they create an emotional wall that prevents meaningful connection, leaving you feeling unseen and unheard. Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic emperor, understood the value of empathy when he said, "When you arise in the morning, think of what a privilege it is to be alive, to think, to enjoy, to love." Stoicism teaches us that empathy is foundational not just for strong relationships but for living a fulfilling life. Empathy allows us to connect, build trust, and create harmony in our communities, yet when it's absent, it can lead to significant damage in both personal and professional settings. During the COVID-19 pandemic, for instance, some leaders displayed a shocking lack of empathy, prioritizing political gains over the health and safety of their people. This indifference deepened divisions, eroded trust, and left countless individuals feeling abandoned. Similarly, workplaces with leaders who fail to show empathy often see employees lose motivation, feel undervalued, and disengage, which leads to lower morale and productivity. But empathy isn't just a leadership skill or a social virtue, it's a practice, a way of living that starts within. Let me share a modern story to illustrate this. Imagine Sarah, a young professional working in a high-pressure corporate environment. Her manager, Tom, never acknowledged her struggles despite her consistently excellent performance. When Sarah confided in him about her mental health challenges, Tom dismissed her, saying, "We all have stress. You need to toughen up." Feeling unsupported and devalued, Sarah's motivation dwindled. She contemplated leaving her job until she had a life-changing conversation with a mentor. The mentor shared a Stoic secret. While you can't control how others treat you, you can choose how you respond. Sarah realized she could cultivate her own empathy, not for Tom's indifference, but for herself. She started setting boundaries and seeking connections with colleagues who valued her contributions. Eventually, she found a new job where empathy and collaboration were core values. This story shows that while a lack of empathy from others can be disheartening, it doesn't define your worth or limit your potential. So how do you foster empathy in a world where it's often overlooked? Start by practicing self-awareness. Do you truly listen to others, or are you waiting for your turn to speak? Do you acknowledge their feelings, or do you dismiss them because you don't relate? Empathy begins with recognizing your own emotions and using that understanding to connect with the experiences of others. When you actively listen, offer genuine support, and show kindness, you not only strengthen your relationships, but also contribute to a more united and compassionate society. Empathy, as Stoicism teaches, isn't just a gift to others. It's a practice that enriches your own life. Think about your own experiences. Have you encountered people who lacked empathy, and how did it affect you? What would happen if you approached your relationships with greater understanding and care? The truth is, empathy bridges gaps, deepens trust, and fosters growth in ways that nothing else can. By prioritizing empathy, you align yourself with the Stoic secret of living in harmony with others and yourself. Remember, while you can't control how empathetic others are, you can choose to lead with empathy in your own life. In doing so, you'll build stronger, more meaningful connections and find fulfillment in the shared experience of being human. Which behavior did you encounter most often? 1. Emotional manipulation. 2. Minimizing your difficulties. 3. Putting yourself first. 4. Lack of empathy. Comment below with your answer, 1, or 2, or 3, or 4, and let us know how you dealt with it. Don't forget to watch until the end for more insights and practical advice to take control of your peace and happiness. Let's continue the conversation. 4 ways to build inner strength and peace. Number 1. Focus on what you can control. A cornerstone of Stoic philosophy is the practice of focusing solely on what lies within your control. This wisdom, echoed across centuries, reminds us that much of life's frustration and anxiety stems from trying to manage external events or the behaviors and opinions of others, endeavors that are, by their very nature, beyond our grasp. The Stoics taught that freedom begins with the acknowledgement of this truth, as it frees us from unnecessary stress and liberates us to focus on the aspects of life where we can make a meaningful impact. Marcus Aurelius encapsulated this idea when he wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This insight holds relevance even today, as we often waste valuable energy fretting over things that are not ours to control. In modern life, this principle can be practiced by redirecting your focus inward. For example, instead of obsessing over someone's opinion of you, consider your response to their words and reflect on how you can grow from the experience. It's easy to feel consumed by external judgments, but by shifting your attention to self-improvement, you reclaim your power and fortify your sense of self. Incorporating daily habits like mindfulness meditation or journaling can serve as tools for cultivating clarity and resilience. These practices create a space where you can pause, evaluate your emotions, and remain grounded in the present moment, rather than being swept away by events beyond your influence. The great Epictetus reminded us of this when he said, "It is not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." Building on this idea, setting firm boundaries becomes another way to protect your peace. When you say no to tasks, relationships, or commitments that do not align with your values or goals, you not only safeguard your energy, but also assert your autonomy. In doing so, you can channel your efforts into areas that truly matter, such as nurturing meaningful relationships, pursuing passions, or improving your health and well-being. Imagine you are juggling multiple responsibilities. By prioritizing the ones within your control, you lighten your emotional load and improve your effectiveness in handling life's demands. Modern Stoicism teaches us that reclaiming your power lies in controlling your mindset, habits, and reactions. This practice becomes especially vital in today's chaotic world, where external distractions often pull us away from inner peace. For example, instead of being frustrated by a delayed flight, use that time to read, meditate, or engage in meaningful conversations. This mental shift allows you to transform inconveniences into opportunities for growth, reinforcing your resilience and fostering a sense of calm, even in unpredictable circumstances. By consistently aligning your actions with what you can influence, you develop a strong foundation for emotional stability. Moreover, reflecting daily on your choices and actions can help keep you grounded in what truly matters. Take a few minutes each evening to ask yourself, did I focus on what I can control today? Did I act in accordance with my values? These small moments of reflection ensure that your life is not dictated by fleeting external events, but rather guided by purposeful intention. When you root your efforts in what you can control, you build inner strength that is impervious to the chaos of the outside world. This timeless principle of focusing on what is within your power is not just a philosophical concept. It is a practical roadmap for navigating life's challenges with grace. In a world that often feels overwhelming, embracing the teachings of modern Stoicism empowers you to approach each day with clarity and calm. By letting go of the futile pursuit of controlling others or external outcomes, you make space for the things that truly matter: your growth, your peace, and your ability to live authentically. As Seneca so aptly said, fate leads the willing and drags along the reluctant. By willingly focusing on what you can control, you choose to lead a life of purpose and tranquility, no matter the circumstances you face. Number 2. Cultivate self-worth. Cultivating self-worth is an essential practice to protect yourself from the negativity and indifference of those who don't truly care about you. Too often, we internalize the criticism or neglect of others, allowing their words or actions to seed self-doubt and erode our confidence. However, it's vital to remember that your value is not determined by the approval or validation of others. It resides within your character, choices, and actions. Marcus Aurelius, a key figure in Stoic philosophy, reminds us, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This means that your sense of worth should stem from your inner virtues, not the external judgments of those who fail to see your value. To cultivate self-worth, begin by identifying and celebrating your unique qualities and achievements. Take time to reflect on what makes you, you. Writing down your strengths, successes, and positive traits can be a powerful tool for reinforcing your confidence. This act of recognition helps counter the negativity that others may project onto you. Surrounding yourself with uplifting, supportive individuals who genuinely appreciate your worth is equally important. Like Seneca observed, associate with people who are likely to improve you. A strong community of friends and allies can act as a buffer against criticism and remind you of your inherent value, especially when the indifference of others threatens your self-esteem. It's also crucial to invest in your mental and physical well-being through consistent self-care. Small intentional acts like exercising, meditating, or dedicating time to hobbies can improve your overall mindset and resilience. Modern Stoicism emphasizes this balance between the physical and the mental, encouraging us to strengthen both our body and mind. Moreover, learning to handle criticism with grace and objectivity is a transformative skill. Instead of taking negative feedback to heart, reframe it as an opportunity to grow. Ask yourself if the criticism is constructive and, if it is, how it can serve as a lesson to refine your actions. When it isn't constructive, let it pass without letting it define you. As Epictetus wisely said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." Equally important is the way you speak to yourself, as your inner dialogue shapes your perception of self-worth. Practice self-compassion by using kind and empowering language when addressing your own thoughts and feelings. Remind yourself that your value isn't contingent on pleasing everyone or gaining universal approval. Living authentically and in alignment with your principles is far more important. The Stoics believed that the approval of the crowd is fleeting, while the approval of your own conscience is enduring. This principle allows you to anchor your worth in the steady foundation of your actions and values, rather than the ever-changing opinions of others. Strengthening your self-worth is not about shutting out criticism or isolating yourself from others. It's about building a firm inner foundation that remains unshaken by external negativity or indifference. In a world where the validation of others can feel like a currency, practicing modern Stoicism offers a profound reminder that true fulfillment comes from within. By valuing your own strengths, nurturing supportive relationships, and maintaining a compassionate inner dialogue, you create the resilience needed to thrive in the face of indifference. This unshakable sense of self will empower you to live with confidence, clarity, and purpose, regardless of how others perceive you. Let the words of Marcus Aurelius guide you. Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one. Number 3. Practice gratitude. Gratitude is one of the most transformative tools you have, especially when dealing with people who don't truly care about you. It redirects your focus from what's missing or hurtful to what's present and meaningful, empowering you to find strength in your blessings rather than dwelling on someone else's indifference. When you practice gratitude daily, by reflecting on even the smallest moments of joy, like the warmth of sunlight on your skin or the laughter of a friend. It shifts your mindset to one of abundance rather than scarcity. The Stoics believed deeply in this practice, encouraging us to view even challenges as opportunities for growth. Marcus Aurelius said, "When you arise in the morning, think of what a privilege it is to be alive, to think, to enjoy, to love." Gratitude, he understood, is not just about savoring life's pleasures, but also embracing its trials, for every hardship shapes resilience, wisdom, and strength. Consider a modern example. James, a young teacher struggling with burnout, found himself constantly frustrated by his unmotivated students and indifferent colleagues. His days felt thankless, and he began questioning his choice of career. One evening, scrolling through social media, he stumbled upon the idea of keeping a gratitude journal. Skeptical but desperate, James started writing 3 things he was grateful for every night. At first, it was simple: a hot cup of coffee, the funny comment from a student, or a quiet evening with a book. Over time, his perspective shifted. He began to see his work not as an endless burden, but as a chance to shape lives, even in small ways. By focusing on the good, James found new energy to approach his job, which not only improved his mindset but also inspired his students and rekindled his passion for teaching. This is the power of gratitude. It doesn't change the world around you, but it transforms how you see it and how you show up within it. So, how often do you take a moment to acknowledge the good in your life, even during challenging times? Have you ever noticed how gratitude softens your focus on the negative, opening your eyes to overlooked blessings? The Stoics knew this secret well. Gratitude is both a shield and a guide. It guards your peace from the slights of others and guides you toward a life of contentment and purpose. Start small by expressing gratitude for the simplest things, then work toward appreciating even the lessons hidden within adversity. Perhaps you've faced someone who hurt or dismissed you. What if you viewed that experience as a lesson in self-respect, teaching you to value yourself more deeply? Gratitude is also an outward practice. When you thank others, through kind words, thoughtful actions, or a simple smile, you build bridges and strengthen relationships. Even in the face of indifference, showing appreciation fosters connection and reinforces your inner peace. Imagine if we all embraced this Stoic secret, recognizing that gratitude is not just a tool for personal growth, but a means of nurturing harmony with others. Reflect on this. What would your life look like if you made gratitude a daily habit? How might it reshape your outlook, relationships, and ability to handle life's ups and downs? The lesson here is clear. Practicing gratitude isn't about ignoring hardships or denying pain. It's about choosing to focus on what uplifts and sustains you. By starting each day with a grateful heart and expressing appreciation to those around you, you cultivate an inner strength that no external behavior can shake. Gratitude is not just a response to kindness. It's a mindset, a way of life that aligns with the Stoic belief that peace comes from within. Remember, your power lies in your perspective, and with gratitude, you reclaim control over how you see the world, no matter who may or may not care about you. Number 4, develop positive thinking. Positive thinking is not about denying life's challenges, but about viewing them through a lens of opportunity and growth. It is a practice of shifting your mindset to focus on possibilities rather than obstacles, on solutions rather than problems. When life throws difficulties your way, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can this make me stronger? This shift in perspective is the cornerstone of developing resilience and inner strength. Stoic philosophy teaches us that adversity is inevitable, but the way we frame our challenges defines the quality of our lives. Marcus Aurelius put it beautifully when he wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." This reminder urges us to reframe obstacles as stepping stones to growth, not barriers to our progress. Incorporating positive thinking into daily life requires deliberate effort, particularly when facing setbacks. A practical step is replacing negative self-talk with constructive affirmations. For instance, instead of resigning to defeat with thoughts like, "I can't do this," try empowering yourself by saying, "I'll find a way to overcome this." These seemingly small changes in language create profound shifts in mindset, reinforcing the belief that you have the capacity to face and resolve difficulties. Modern Stoicism emphasizes the power of internal dialogue in shaping our reality, advocating for self-awareness as the first step toward a healthier mindset. By consciously choosing words of encouragement over self-doubt, you train your mind to focus on progress and possibility. Surrounding yourself with supportive and optimistic people also plays a pivotal role in fostering positivity. The energy and perspectives of those you spend time with can either uplift or drain you, so it is essential to build a circle of encouragement. These individuals can inspire you to see beyond immediate struggles and remind you of your strength when you feel discouraged. Consider the wisdom of Seneca, who said, "Associate with those who will make a better man of you." Whether through friends, mentors, or community, having positive influences in your life can help you weather even the toughest storms with hope and determination. Additionally, consuming uplifting content can reinforce a positive mindset. Reading motivational books, listening to podcasts, or even engaging in gratitude journaling can keep your thoughts aligned with a hopeful outlook. These practices act as a mental reset, reminding you to focus on what you can control and to appreciate the small victories along the way. It is equally important to avoid the trap of comparison, which often leads to feelings of inadequacy and frustration. Instead of measuring your worth against others' achievements, concentrate on your unique journey and celebrate the progress you've made, no matter how modest it may seem. Epictetus offered timeless wisdom on this point, stating, "There is only one way to happiness, and that is to cease worrying about things which are beyond the power of our will." In today's fast-paced, competitive world, the principles of modern Stoicism can serve as a guide for maintaining a positive outlook. Life will always have its unpredictability, but Stoics remind us that it is not the events themselves, but our interpretation of them that determines our peace of mind. By focusing on your personal growth, building resilience, and fostering gratitude, you create a mindset that thrives even in adversity. Positivity is not a denial of hardship, it is the strength to face it with courage and optimism. The challenges you encounter may test your patience and resolve, but with a constructive perspective, they also offer the chance to grow wiser and stronger. Practicing positive thinking not only enhances your resilience but also fills your life with greater purpose and joy. When you consciously choose to embrace positivity, you unlock your ability to persevere, adapt, and thrive. The result is a life not defined by external circumstances but by your own unwavering resolve to find the good in every situation. With each small victory, you affirm your capability to overcome and create a sense of fulfillment that no setback can take away. As you align your thoughts with this empowering approach, you embody the essence of modern Stoicism, an enduring calm and clarity amidst the chaos of life. What's the one thing you've learned about controlling your mindset or practicing gratitude? Comment below with your thoughts. Choose from these quick answers. Focus on what I can control, or gratitude changes everything. And don't forget to stay until the end of this video, where we'll dive into siyl. Lessons from Stoicism and their application in life. You won't want to miss it. Lessons from Stoicism and their application in life. Number 1. Recognize the true value of life. Recognizing the true value of life is a cornerstone of Stoic philosophy and a powerful lesson for navigating modern challenges. The Stoics remind us that life's worth isn't measured by material possessions, external recognition, or fleeting successes, but by the strength of our character, the quality of our relationships, and the positive impact we have on others. As Marcus Aurelius wisely observed, "You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think." This perspective encourages us to appreciate life's fleeting nature, shifting our focus from superficial goals to what genuinely matters, living with integrity, cultivating meaningful connections, and seeking self-improvement. To truly embrace this principle, it's essential to examine your priorities and ask yourself whether they reflect societal pressures or your authentic values. Many of us find ourselves chasing material success or the approval of others, only to discover that these pursuits often lead to dissatisfaction. Modern Stoicism emphasizes the importance of aligning your actions with your inner values rather than external standards, reminding us that true fulfillment comes from simplicity, purpose, and virtue. For instance, instead of chasing endless accolades or possessions, focus on the impact of your actions. Whether it's supporting a loved one, contributing to your community, or growing through personal challenges. As Seneca wrote, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it." This insight encourages us to use our time wisely, prioritizing what adds real meaning to our lives. Life's inevitable challenges, while uncomfortable, serve as profound opportunities for growth and resilience. The Stoics viewed adversity not as a punishment, but as a teacher, shaping our character and deepening our understanding of ourselves. When faced with difficulty, ask how the experience can refine your perspective or strengthen your resolve. Modern Stoicism invites us to see struggles as a chance to practice patience, courage, and wisdom, traits that outlast any material achievement. By reflecting on these lessons, we cultivate gratitude for even the small, often overlooked moments that truly enrich life, such as an honest conversation, an act of kindness, or a step forward in our personal journey. Living with integrity is perhaps the greatest legacy we can leave, as it transcends material success and touches the lives of others in profound ways. When we contribute positively to the world, whether through our actions, words, or presence, we create ripples that extend far beyond our own existence. The Stoics remind us that by living in alignment with virtue and purpose, we find a sense of fulfillment that no external reward can replicate. As Epictetus said, "Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants." This truth highlights that contentment stems from mastering our desires and appreciating what we already have, rather than endlessly seeking more. In today's fast-paced world, where materialism and external validation often dominate, the teachings of Stoicism offer a much-needed reminder to recalibrate and focus on what truly matters. By embracing the transient nature of life, grounding yourself in your values, and cultivating gratitude for everyday moments, you not only find fulfillment but also inspire those around you to do the same. Modern Stoicism teaches us that the measure of a life well lived lies not in what we acquire, but in how we live, with integrity, gratitude, and a commitment to the greater good. Number 2. Build healthy boundaries. Building healthy boundaries is one of the most important steps you can take to protect your peace and create meaningful relationships. Without clear boundaries, people who don't genuinely care about you may take advantage of your kindness, manipulate your time, or overwhelm you with their negativity. Setting boundaries begins with identifying what you will and won't tolerate: behaviors, words, or actions that disrupt your well-being. If someone repeatedly disrespects your time, for instance, you must learn to say no without guilt. Saying no is not selfish. It's an act of self-respect. As the Stoics taught, your time and energy are precious and should be used wisely. Marcus Aurelius reminds us to ask ourselves if what we are doing is essential and meaningful, emphasizing that we must guard against distractions and unnecessary demands on our lives. Boundaries are not about shutting people out. They're about fostering respect both for yourself and for others. When you set clear limits, you communicate your values and protect the space where authentic and respectful relationships can grow. A modern example of the importance of boundaries comes from Mia, a talented graphic designer who constantly found herself overwhelmed by requests from her friends and family. They would ask for free work or last-minute favors, assuming her time was always available. At first, Mia obliged, worried about being seen as selfish or unhelpful. But as the demands grew, she began to feel resentful and exhausted, unable to focus on her paid clients or personal goals. One day, after missing a critical deadline because of a family member's last-minute request, Mia decided to change. Inspired by a podcast about Stoicism, she realized she had been neglecting her own needs. She started setting boundaries by kindly but firmly saying, "I'd love to help, but I can't commit to that right now." At first, some people were taken aback, but over time, they began to respect her limits. By valuing her time and energy, Mia not only regained her peace but also improved her relationships, as people saw her as reliable without being overburdened. Her story illustrates a Stoic secret. Boundaries are a form of self-respect and clarity that help you create balance and harmony. Now think about your own life. Have you ever felt drained by someone else's expectations or demands? How often have you said yes to something that felt wrong in your gut just to avoid conflict? Stoicism reminds us that boundaries are not walls to isolate us, but frameworks to ensure our time, energy, and relationships are rooted in mutual respect. Trust your instincts when a relationship feels one-sided or toxic, and don't hesitate to distance yourself if necessary. It's not about rejecting others, but about honoring yourself. When you establish healthy boundaries, you set the tone for how others should treat you and create space for the right people to connect with you on a deeper level. Equally important is setting boundaries with yourself. Overcommitting or compromising your values to please others can leave you drained and unfulfilled. The Stoics understood that saying no to external distractions allows you to say yes to what truly matters. Are you prioritizing your well-being and staying true to your goals? By respecting your own limits, you develop the self-discipline and focus necessary to lead a purposeful and peaceful life. Remember, boundaries are not acts of aggression or selfishness. They are acts of love and self-respect. The lesson here is simple but profound. Healthy boundaries empower you to protect your peace and align your actions with your values. They ensure your time and energy are spent wisely, nurturing connections that bring joy and meaning rather than resentment. As you reflect on your life, consider this Stoic secret. Boundaries are the foundation of a harmonious existence. They help you prioritize what truly matters and free you to live authentically and with intention. So ask yourself, what boundaries do you need to set today to honor your worth and foster mutual respect in your relationships? The choice is yours, and the rewards are lasting. Number 3, practice forgiveness. Forgiveness is not about excusing harmful behavior or pretending that pain never happened. It's about reclaiming your peace and freeing yourself from the heavy burden of resentment. Holding on to anger, grudges, or the desire for revenge only drains your emotional energy, creating a cycle of bitterness that clouds your judgment and affects your well-being. Forgiveness is the key to breaking free from this cycle, allowing you to live with clarity and emotional freedom. Seneca, the Stoic philosopher, offers profound insight into this when he said, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." This wisdom reminds us that the mental and emotional anguish of holding on to grievances often surpasses the harm of the original offense. Forgiveness, then, becomes a gift not to the other person, but to yourself, a choice to prioritize your own peace over prolonged pain. To truly embrace forgiveness, it helps to begin with empathy, which doesn't mean excusing another person's actions, but rather attempting to understand the motivations and circumstances that led to them. People often hurt others from a place of ignorance, fear, or pain, and while this doesn't absolve them of responsibility, it can provide a framework for letting go of the emotional weight. Modern Stoicism teaches that we cannot control the behavior of others, only our response to it. By recognizing this, you shift your focus from trying to change the past to taking ownership of how you move forward. This perspective is liberating, as it removes the power of negativity from external forces and places it back within your control. Equally important in the practice of forgiveness is learning to forgive yourself. Many of us carry guilt or shame over past mistakes, replaying moments we cannot change and judging ourselves harshly. This self-recrimination only hinders growth, preventing us from living fully in the present. To forgive yourself, you must first recognize your humanity, your inherent imperfection. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Do not be ashamed of help. You need counsel to steer better. The stormy seas do not need your pride, but your willingness to correct your course." These words remind us that everyone errs, and those errors can serve as valuable lessons rather than permanent sources of regret. By showing yourself compassion and focusing on how you can grow from past missteps, you open the door to healing and self-acceptance. Forgiveness is a process that requires patience, self-awareness, and consistent effort. It is not something that happens instantly or without reflection, but the rewards are profound. Emotional clarity, inner peace, and the freedom to focus on what truly matters in life. In modern life, where resentment and conflict often feel amplified by social pressures and external distractions, practicing forgiveness becomes even more essential. For example, holding on to anger over a workplace slight or a personal betrayal can consume your thoughts, affecting your productivity and relationships. By choosing to forgive, you reclaim the mental space and energy needed to thrive. This doesn't mean you have to forget or reconcile. Forgiveness is an internal process that benefits you, regardless of the other person's actions or awareness. Practicing forgiveness aligns perfectly with the principles of modern Stoicism, as it teaches us to detach from what we cannot control, other people's actions, and focus instead on mastering our inner world. The process doesn't weaken you, it strengthens you, reinforcing your resilience and commitment to living a life unburdened by the weight of unresolved conflict. Forgiveness allows you to reclaim your narrative, moving forward with dignity and purpose. By letting go of resentment, you build emotional strength and create space for joy, fulfillment, and growth. As the philosopher Epictetus said, "Make the best use of what is in your power, and take the rest as it happens." Forgiveness is a profound embodiment of this wisdom, a gift of freedom that allows you to live fully in the present, guided by clarity and purpose. Number 4. Live purposefully and meaningfully. Living purposefully and meaningfully is about aligning your actions with your values and creating a life that resonates with who you truly are. At its core, a purposeful life asks you to reflect on a powerful question: what legacy do I want to leave behind? This inquiry helps clarify your motivations and goals, steering you away from the distractions of societal expectations and toward a life of authenticity and fulfillment. The Stoics believed that purpose is not found in grand achievements or material success, but in the consistent, intentional actions we take to uphold our principles. As Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one." Purpose is built in the quiet moments of effort, where we choose to act with virtue and integrity, rather than seeking external validation. A meaningful life doesn't require monumental acts. It thrives in the small, consistent ways we contribute to the world around us. Volunteering to support a cause, mentoring someone in need, or offering a kind word to a struggling friend are all profound ways to live with purpose. These actions, though seemingly simple, reflect the Stoic belief that life's value is measured not by outcomes, but by the effort and intention behind what we do. Modern Stoicism reminds us that aligning our daily actions with our values creates a deep sense of fulfillment and peace, even if the external rewards aren't immediately visible. For example, consider how lending a helping hand or listening to someone's struggles not only helps others, but also strengthens your own sense of connection and compassion. Each choice, however small, contributes to the greater good and reinforces your commitment to living with integrity. Setting realistic and achievable goals is another key to living purposefully. By focusing on what aligns with your passions and values, you create a roadmap for a life of meaning and progress. Celebrate your milestones along the way, however small, as these moments provide motivation and reaffirm the importance of your efforts. The Stoics emphasized the importance of self-discipline in pursuing your goals, encouraging us to remain steadfast even when faced with setbacks. As Epictetus wisely said, "First say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do." This principle reminds us that clarity of purpose, paired with deliberate action, is essential for living a life of value and significance. Challenges, though often uncomfortable, are an integral part of living a purposeful life. They force us to grow, adapt, and refine our understanding of what truly matters. Instead of avoiding difficulties, Stoicism teaches us to embrace them as opportunities for personal development and a deeper sense of fulfillment. Modern Stoicism emphasizes the transformative power of adversity, showing us that the obstacles we face often lead to our greatest strengths. By meeting challenges with resilience and intention, we ensure that our actions remain consistent with our values, regardless of external circumstances. As Seneca observed, "Difficulties strengthen the mind, as labor does the body." Living meaningfully is about ensuring that your actions reflect your beliefs, creating a ripple effect of positivity that extends beyond your own life. Every decision you make, every interaction you have, contributes to the legacy you leave behind. A purposeful life is not about perfection or grand gestures, but about the authenticity and consistency of your choices. Modern Stoicism teaches us that by focusing on what we can control, our thoughts, actions, and responses, we find fulfillment and contribute meaningfully to the world around us. Let your life be guided by the principle that your effort, not the applause of others, defines your worth. As you live with purpose and integrity, you create a legacy that inspires others and provides a sense of deep, enduring satisfaction. As we conclude, remember that the key to navigating life with strength and clarity lies in mastering your responses and protecting your inner peace, no matter the challenges around you. Living with patience, understanding, and self-respect allows you to align with your true values and build relationships that nurture rather than drain you. Take action by respecting your boundaries and honoring the principles of Stoicism in your daily life. What steps will you take today to protect your peace and live authentically? Let us know in the comments. Your perspective could inspire someone else. If you found this video helpful, share it with someone who might need it, and don't forget to subscribe to Stoic in Your Life for more insights on Stoicism and personal growth. Together, we can create a more connected, resilient, and empathetic world.